Welcome back to another episode of my Seattle Mariners franchise here on MLB The Show 25, where we are going to get ready for our Year 2 draft and go through at least this last series here against Texas, kind of go through the All-Star Game festivities, probably get through maybe like the Cleveland series. We'll just kind of play it by ear. But the big thing is definitely coming into this and doing the getting the draft done is definitely the big thing. So with that in mind, let's jump in here. Again, we are, I guess I should have said, we're doing extremely well. The Rangers right now are definitely the top competition that we have, and we get an opportunity here against an AL West team to try to add on to our lead. Right now we're up like 6.5 games, I think it is. In this one, we got the bases loaded here, down by 1. See if we can make something happen. I have not played this game in probably 2.5, 3 weeks. Just coming off of a honeymoon. So y'all have got, it'll be a couple of episodes that are already pre-recorded before this one comes up. Oops, I was doing some, sorry. Okay, so I need to change that. We also need to change pitching back. I was doing a little Diamond Dynasty just for fun. Okay, that's fine. So, got to change this off of directional hitting. Count here. Victor Robles at the plate swings over a slider. Make sure we're still okay. Just want to make sure this back to the U.S. timing.
No ball, 1 strike.
But yeah, definitely excited to jump back in. Bases loaded. 0-1 count. Victor Robles is going to get that one to fall. We have tied the game. It looks like. Yep, was able to slide in under the tags. Victor Robles gets a 2-run single here into left field. That ball was not hit particularly hard. Robles able to get the job done. Now J.P. Crawford 1 for 3 so far in this one. Got 2 guys on. Again, just 1
That's
out.
A ball. 1 ball, no
Gets
strike.
the favorable slider call there. Yeah, definitely excited to be back here. Looking forward to the draft. I don't think that, obviously we're picking a little bit later, so that cuts some of the excitement and surety of what you're going to be drafting. I don't think this looks to be quite as good a draft class as what we had in year 1. Does not appear there any generational players, not that we would be able to get any of them as low as we pick anyway. Definitely looking forward to see who we can add. J.P. Crawford's going to fly this one out to center field. Gets a bad throw. That was actually going to the backstop. But they usually cut it off so well. I didn't want to rush that. Could have maybe gotten up to second and third. So now Jesse Winker still hitting over 300, 826 OPS. The DH has been everything we could have asked for and more here in the first half of the season. I'd argue he's probably been an even better hitter than Kyle Tucker has been this year. Tucker obviously plays good defense in the outfield and is a better base runner because of his stolen base threat. Winker has been just an outstanding pickup. We still have him for another year. Hopefully we continue to have more success with him as he's going to swing very early on that curveball. But the Mariners do take the lead here in this game, thanks to Victor Robles. Let's get back to simulate, see what else maybe pops up here. So Garcia hits a 2-run, hits a 2-run home run. Look like Berger hit a home run as well. So now we got 2 runners on, back down 2 here. Julio Rodriguez 3 for 4 at the plate here in the top of the 8th with 2 outs. Hit 3 singles, average up to 265. OPS a little below 800. I do think that we're getting to a point in his career where he's going to be an outstanding player because of the defense that he gives you. But maybe the odds of him being, a 900, 1,000 OPS kind of guy is probably not going to be a thing. Still a very good player. 1-1. Obviously, a lot of value on the base paths. A lot of pop. Almost had a 30-30 season last year. Too low there. Got to get back into the rhythm and He did not beat that out. It is going to be a double play. Very likely to lose game 1 here. Do get another opportunity. So we have scored 3 runs thanks to Victor Robles having an outstanding game. Knocked in 3 runs there apparently with the bases loaded. We're down 1 run now. 2 outs. It comes down to J.P. Crawford, been the leadoff hitter for a lot of this season. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Garcia throws relatively hard changeup slider combo. That ball is, nope, did not hit that one hard at all, but the throw is off, and I just sent him, that's on me. I sent him home because I thought it was just going to be a nice, easy throw over to first base. It's kind of a natural reaction thing. Ends up running ourselves out of the inning there. That's tough to late moment, but it's fine. A lot of offense, a lot of errors in this game. We had 3 hits from Julio, 2 from Crawford, 3 from Robles. Obviously had a big day. 2 from Rayleigh, who also hit a home run, but a 5 RBI game for Robles there at the bottom of the lineup was nice. Bryce Miller got shelled in this one. He's been outstanding this year. Bullpen was okay outside of Snyder. Salcedo did give up a run there as well. We also had 2 errors. It was not a clean game there at all defensively. 6 errors in total. Jake Berger hit 2 home runs there for the Rangers. They would help them pull off that victory. And now let's see if something pops up here. We do get another situation here. Top of the 7th. We are tied. 2 runners on. J.P. Crawford coming up to the plate again. See if we can't get this timing down just a little bit better. We are 6th in baseball and on-base percentage, 2nd in ERA. This is suddenly a very, very good offense, maybe without like a Bryce Harper, Fernando Tatis level superstar at the plate, but just really good top to bottom. The scores almost threw that one by him. Crawford, 2 on here, just 1 out.
That's a ball.
Good eye on that one, 1-1 count. Got a couple guys up in the pen. If Crawford can get something to drive here.
Hey!
Way late on the slurve. Timing is definitely off. It's been a while since I played the game. Probably should have jumped into a little practice mode before this. 1-2 count. Crawford.
2 balls.
Gonna watch that one. 2-2 now. 2 on in a 2-2 game. That ball got a pitch to hit and drives it deep into the right center gap. That one's actually going to go off the wall. Is he going to be able to score from second on that? He's able to slide in safely. Oh, the ball got away. So J.P. Crawford hits an RBI double. Barely able to get that run from second base. Gets that one off the wall. Rangers did a really nice job getting that ball back in. And now, with Jesse Winker coming to the plate, Cole Winn is coming in. Has been really solid this year for them. Winker, the average, now for the first time the whole season, has dipped below 300. 0 for 3 today.
Ball inside.
Had a good opportunity here. Of course, an outstanding clutch hitter. 99 clutch, 62 pop, 66 vision. This is one of those situations you bring him in for, and he's going to drive this one well into the gap as well. That one is going to be a ground rule double there. So back-to-back doubles from J.P. Crawford and Jesse Winker. Putting some offense on the board here. It's now a 5-2 lead. Runner on second. Julio Rodriguez at the plate swinging for us.
0-1's the count.
See if we can extend this lead. A couple of big hits there, back to back. I got a little under that one. A little early on the slider. That one is going to be run down. So still 5-2. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Cal Raleigh has hit a home run today. 2 for 8 in the series. See what that batting average is. 262 after hitting 250 last year. Was down in power last year. The power is up. The batting average is up. We're going to hit this one weekly
Got
over to
him.
shortstop. But it's still a big run. J.P. Crawford, a big inning. J.P. Crawford, Jesse Winker, back-to-back doubles. I think should have a good opportunity to get a win here. Rayleigh with a RBI. Rosarena with an RBI. Polanco, a 2 RBI single. End up kind of cruising here. Always nice to see that. All right, good deal, guys. So a 9-3 victory here, even up this series, and I think that should put us in a spot for the draft now. Think we're going to go pitcher, to be completely honest with you. I think our highest scouted guy is a pitcher that should be in range for us. Let's go to the draft. So Jason Delaney actually jumped up here, 18 years old. Could be a little lower down. I think Eddie Matos is the guy that I'm most interested in. I think there's a very solid guarantee that he is a pretty high overall, pretty high potential pitcher. We're going to add both of those two guys as our top two there. Buddy Graham, obviously did not scout him. We'll add Forrest Nolan. I doubt he's going to be available. Steve Cairo, another guy. Okay. Let's see. Guys that might be available. Sean Cora could be for sure. Ooh, Jim Flowers. That's a nice move up for him. Up to 8th on our board. Maybe a guy to look at in the second round, assuming he falls to us at pick 56. Andres Gonzalez moving way up from 71 to 10. That's another pitcher we should be able to go after and feel pretty solid about, I think. Probably going to be a lot of pitchers. There's a lot of these guys that I did not really look at all. Jason Farley from not being ranked all the way up to 17th. Did a nice job there. Okay. Jason Giordano moved way up. So we got a lot of pitchers towards the top end that I think we have the opportunity to draft in that second round. Probably going to largely try to follow the board as we're looking just kind of overall, because I can always kind of go back to them. I think a guy like Terrence Ferguson I would be really interested in as well in that third round, just to try to get kind of that closer of the future, an 18-year-old. Good velocity on his stuff. I'm really, really excited, kind of really pinpointing him. Michael St. Aud. He was a guy a little further down if we decide to go with another starting pitcher. But we're in a spot where our starting pitching depth over the next couple of years, as far as the guys that we currently have in the rotation, could start kind of phasing their way out, just strictly based on, us just not having the money to bring them back. They're all kind of hitting free agency roughly the same amount of time. As I'm just kind of peeking through other positions here, see if there's somebody that really overly impresses me. I think Mark Trowbridge, if we really just wanted to add another second baseman, I think it's probably a pretty decent shot that he's a high C potential player, but a very solid guy immediately. I do think there's value in that. Not really anybody else at second base. We'll add Bryant Garner to the list. I didn't scout him. I don't think he's going to be available. Just kind of the initial draft ranking for us. He's fallen down, but nice, right-handed third baseman here. Got some pop for sure, particularly against lefties. There was Champlin Hogg. I think he's going to be a decent. Just looks solid, but I'm sure he's going to be a long way away from being incredibly valuable. Now, we are looking at Carlos Moreno. I think he's obviously guaranteed to be a super highly high potential guy. I just think the rating is going to be a little bit lower, and I think his strength is going to be more of being a really solid defender with a strong arm and more of a solid contact bat. Now, we need third baseman in this system for sure, so I wouldn't be overly upset about adding him. But I do think you'd be missing out on some upside pitchers if we decided to go with him if he was available in the second round. He's obviously not going to be a guy that I pick at 22, but I did like him. There's not a whole lot of other guys really moving up here. The shortstop looks like, I'm sure it's solid here at the top. I don't think any of these guys are really going to be available for us. Brad McCullum, we didn't fully scout. Looks like a solid bat. I do worry that he's one of those guys that's obviously a very solid overall out the gate, but probably a lower potential guy. I think the bat and the defense could all be solid. Just don't know how much better he's going to get, but we'll add him to that anyway. Omar Lopez, I just don't think there's enough offensive upside. I think he's a great defender, but I highly doubt we're going to go that path here at all. I think if you really just wanted a high upside shot from a shortstop, Gerald Presley might be that. Just out of curiosity, Buddy Graham, what does he look like? Looks like an outstanding defender, 6'3", 227 shortstop. Really strong arm, but the bat is just more really good, it looks like anyway. Let's see what we got in the outfield. So left field was a very, very weak position. It's one we've got some outfield depth. I didn't really heavily focus on it. See, in center field, we didn't really look at Trevor Conley because I don't think he's going to be available. Let's see, we did add Andres Arellano. Here, I mean, looks like a guy that I think would be really, really solid. But again, I just don't think he would be. He's just a little bit farther down. The potential is not great. But looks like he'd be a very solid hitter with good speed. We'll add him to the board. Let's see. Anybody else really kind of standing out here? Obviously, I don't mind. Once you get to like round 4 and 5, kind of taking a shot on upside. We'll move over to right field. Ray Manzillo. Looks like a solid bat player. Could be okay. I don't think that he's going to be somebody we're going to necessarily go for. Layman fell down the board. Could be a really low overall. May not have a whole lot of high end for him. So like once you get a little bit later, you got guys like Luis Rodriguez. Still could be really good. Andre Serrano could be a nice power bat. The defense is probably going to be really bad, but you could chase the upside, I guess. He did move up in our board. Both of those guys did. Even if we barely scout them, if they move up, you can kind of feel like they may be fairly solid here. But probably going to be a lot of starting pitchers. Again, right now my plan is to go Matos. Is at least my thinking here. Either him or Delaney. I definitely think either one of them would make a ton of sense if either one of them, if one of them are available for us to take. Let's go ahead and let's start the draft. We're picking way down at 23. I think there's a good chance that both of those guys could be there. I'm kind of leaning Matos just for the comfort of knowing that potential is going to be super high. Overall could be a little lower. Delaney definitely has the upside as well. He's younger. We'll just see who's available. We'll make a decision, but it's very likely going to be one of this trio of guys here. Matos, Delaney, if I wanted to maybe take a chance on the sky-high upside, because he could have the same potential as Matos and be roughly the same overall as a younger pitcher. Kind of a different thing than what we got out of Gary Valencia. He's got a little bit more velocity to him. Let's start the draft. See what we got. So Colorado Rockies are picking first. See where they end up going here. They're going to take Richie Palmer, a first baseman. We did not scout. Obviously, we have Ramirez, who I'm very, very hopeful is on the Major League roster next year at first base. Forrest Nolan. Okay, so that's somebody that's I'd said he was one of the guys we were going to be looking at, but he's the top 10 pick. No surprise he goes that high. Our scouts really liked him. Let's see what we have here. Luis Ybarra, starting pitcher way down our boards. The Marlins may have drafted a bust unless it's something that we missed here. That is not a lot of upside there from a guy ranked in the top 3. So I think, at least I am hoping that this comes down to Jason Delaney and Eddie Matos. Is Bryant Garner, third baseman, goes off the board here. Again, a guy that we added to our list but didn't think he was going to be there. We didn't fully scout him either way. Pedro Samuels, number 2 ranked for the major leagues, catcher. They're going to Washington. Looks really solid. Thomas Cannon, not the top shortstop technically on the board based on the MLB rank. Could really be a nice hitter with good defense. May not have a lot of pop. And this is the guy that came in as the number 1 overall prospect. Does finally go here to San Francisco. Again, looks like an elite glove. Is worried about the offensive upside. Think he's got a chance to be very solid. David Walsh, first baseman, another guy I would not look at. Maybe lacks that upper edge pop that you're looking for, but the contact, vision, discipline are outstanding. Looks like a good defender as well. Eric Heim, we did not really scout him. Solid contact guy. The vision's low, though. Looks like a solid defender. Could be very fast. Gary Benedict, right field here, goes to Cincinnati. Looks really, really good. 23, he's older. You got to hope that he is definitely in those 70s for overall with good potential. Jason Delaney goes, okay? So they obviously really liked him there as well in St. Louis. Our number 1 prospect according to our scouts. All right. Roberto Lentiga, third baseman. We didn't really scout at all there. Looks solid. Just didn't have quite the defensive power upside that I was looking for. Bill Norman, a little bit lower on our list, goes to Boston. Juan Racon, catcher that could be just an outstanding hitter. I mean, he could be tremendous, really and truly. Could be a guy that's also just really good right now and doesn't really progress that much. Sean Cora, so another guy that was on our list there is now gone. Andres Gonzalez, another guy on our list. Okay, so they did their scouting on him as he ends up going much higher than he was supposed to based on the MLB rank. Ton Rodriguez, another guy that we liked. On starting pitchers, it was a really starting pitcher heavy draft to me, at least at the positions that I was looking at based on guys that I thought would be available for us. Like, I'm sure some of these, position players are really good. I just don't know how many of them would be available. So I didn't spend that much time scouting them. Freddie Duncan, it's a guy we didn't like quite as much, but certainly looks solid. Pretty much guaranteed to have that high B potential. Should be a decent starting overall. Third baseman Hogg goes there to the Mets. Sean Burgess. Again, another guy that we were not super high on. Goes to the Braves, and then Andres Arellano goes ahead of us. So one of the center fielders that we were potentially looking at. Again, just don't think he's going to have that super high potential, but I think he's a very good shot that he's a major league player. And so things pretty much come down to which one of these starting pitchers do you like the most. So Eddie Matos has kind of been the guy that I have been kind of pointing towards. And I've had in my mind these past couple of episodes as we continue to do more of this scouting. Really just, I think he's probably going to be the guy. It would be looking, trusting our scouts, 19 years old, out of the Dominican. Got a very good shot to have really good potential at 19 years old. Steve Cairo throws hard, sinker, curveball, slider. Matos, a fastball, changeup, slider, splitter. I do like that combination. Throws relatively hard. Is not crazy with the velocity. That's definitely Cairo's biggest thing. Matos looks like he could be a workhorse. He's got better stamina. He's got better hits, better strikeouts, roughly the same walks. Both guys look like they could struggle giving up home runs. Pitch control are roughly the same. Cairo definitely has the velocity. Pitch break points to Matos. We're going to stick with the board, and Eddie Matos is going to be our year 2, 2026 first round pick. Did opt out of his doctor exam. Again, have a really good feeling that he is going to be just a very solid potential pitcher. Probably somewhere in the low to mid 60s in overall. I'm hoping for a potential. That's obviously what you're gunning for there. But you're at least, I think you're looking at a high B potential pitcher that really fits into a good spot here in the sliding right behind Valencia is probably our top pitching prospect. If all the numbers kind of shake up that way. Cubs end up going Trevor Connolly, center fielder we did not go after. I did not think he was going to be available. I don't know how good he is going to necessarily be. Elvis Guzman looks like low potential with the bat. He could be a very low overall, but could be a good defender. Sherman Lehman, it's a right fielder that we liked okay. The upside is maybe not crazy unless he really hits the high end of those futures, but at least the potential is not going to be that high. Juan Quintana, looks like a very good pitcher. He fell way down our board. The potential's low. Okay, I was like looking at the kind of the attributes down here. It doesn't look that bad, but he's a lower potential guy. Woody Emerson, first baseman. Again, we didn't look really at any of these guys. Looked like he could really be a guy that mashes lefties. David Barnes, another catcher. There goes the Phillies. Twins go Benedict, second baseman. Another guy we didn't really scout for whatever reason. I guess I just didn't like the offensive upside for an 18-year-old that could also be a super low overall. And then the last pick of the first round, Howard Gauthier. Falls all the way, a shortstop falls all the way down. Wow. So he did move down our list with a little bit of scouting we did do on him. That is insane, though. Huh. Did not expect that. Steve Cairo comes off the board here. The other guy we were really debating there with Matos. I think that's going to be a good pick there as well. Andre Serrano, okay. So at least a right fielder, a little bit down the board, I could maybe like taking the shot. Maybe finding a good power potential guy. Taylor Hunter, who didn't scout, looks like he could be solid. 18 years old, though. May have to wait a bit. His overall could be as low as 47. Enrique Gonzalez ends up going there to Kansas City. Vernon Blanco goes to the Cardinals. We were not super high on them with our own scouts. Right now, Jim Flowers looks like our top end pitcher here. Probably the top guy on our board left available. If I had to guess, let's do team rank. Jason Farley, man, he could be that could be a steal a little bit farther down the list there. But yeah, I definitely entered this draft kind of mainly looking at wanting to add some pitching depth here. Because you could always use pitchers to trade for, other guys. I think right now I definitely would like Giordano. Could be a 58 overall. Could have pretty much guaranteed to have good potential there. Farley's pretty guaranteed to have pretty solid potential. He could just be a very low overall player. So let's see. Sito Yoshida is gone. Blair Gale, Brad McCullum's one of the shortstops that we liked. He is injured. Dave Tapia opted out. I think I really would like to take Terrence Henderson as well to be our closer of the future at some point in time here, to be completely honest with you. Let's see. Luis Rodriguez is gone. So yeah, a couple of these guys we have not really scouted at all. Some of them way farther down our board than what these guys are taking them. We also haven't fully scouted them, so it certainly could just be something that we're missing. Outside of McCullum, we scouted him pretty decent a little bit. Julio Cedeno is gone now. Okay. So I think right now, I would probably lean Jim Flowers. Jason Farley just seems like a guy we can get a little bit farther down. I think Henderson. I think what I would like to do is probably go Flowers and then maybe go Henderson. Back to back here. Mark Trowbridge just looks like a really solid out of the box, but not a. He just kind of seems like he'd be another second baseman, kind of in the same line of what we got. But could be really good in the future. Could be a better hitter than what we maybe have in the system with that position in Forrest. I was confusing Forrest Stevenson with Terrence Henderson's name there. Okay. So Carlos Moreno does go. Worth pointing out, pretty much he is guaranteed to be a high potential guy. To be a solid overall base player. All right, Jim Flowers still on the board. I would guess based on his rating, he is probably a upper 50s overall, probably a mid to high 80s potential. You may get lucky. That's kind of the way that I look at this, though. Try to go somewhere in the middle to kind of levy your expectations. And a guy like Flowers maybe doesn't have quite the upside of a Matos, but could be a guy that's a solid 3 or 4, maybe. Not going to strike out a bunch of guys. Velocity is solid. I think the home run, like everything looks like it's going to be okay. Got pretty decent velocity, it looks like. Obviously, we don't have him fully scouted. Jason Farley. Our scouts have him lower on the board. He could just be a low overall. Yeah, this is probably going to be a draft. We just take a bunch of these pitchers and let them develop and see what happens. I mean, Farley at 18 years old, guaranteed to be an 82 to 98. I mean, might be a late bloomer, but I'd certainly be excited about that. Michael St. Auld, we did a little bit. Maybe another reliever. Just make sure I'm not necessarily missing something here. We've really liked a couple of these not ranked pitchers that we found. Roosevelt Simone. 21. They were going to stick to it. We thought about going Flowers. That's kind of who we've had our eye on here in the second round. Talking through it. It looks like he's got a very good chance at being a very solid pitcher. So we're going to go with it. Jim Flowers, our 2026 second rounder. We've gone back-to-back pitchers here, and I believe both of them are righties. Our current rotation is all right-handers as well, for what it's worth. Eddie Matos, also a right-handed pitcher. Ooh, let's see, the Carmen Mateo was the PPI pick there for the Athletics. Oh, messed me up there again. Looks solid. Looks like a very good value pick for them. And now we don't pick again here. Oh, we pick here pretty soon. So do you take the chance here on Farley, an 18-year-old pitcher that could be a pretty low overall? Or do you just go ahead and take, I think Giordano could be a very good pick for us here. Either Farley or Giordano, but I think I want to go ahead if he's available, and I think I want to take Terrence Henderson, get our closer of the future, 93 to 98 fastball with a slider, curveball, splitter combination. It is, yeah. Hits are solid. Strikeouts are good. May have a little problem with the walks, but the home runs could be really solid. Let's go ahead and draft our potential closer of the future. So we've added 2 starting pitchers and a right-handed closing pitcher. And now we can, Farley, Giordano, both of those guys look like people that I'm going to be looking at taking here in the third round. Probably would lean Giordano, maybe. Another 21-year-old pitcher. Do you maybe take the chance that Farley may take a little longer to develop? Probably would take Giordano, I think. Got a chance to be a good velocity, high stamina guy. Could be outstanding at preventing hits. He looks like a guy that, with that velocity, could be at worst case a nice long reliever. Farley, not quite as good on the hits or the walks. Could obviously take a little bit longer to develop. Now we can start just taking a look and see if there are maybe other players that give us some higher potential. Raleigh Furry, it might be all pitchers. There's just not that many position players that stood out at all in this class to me in looking at it. There's just really not. Bob Prado, yeah, just looks like a very starting pitcher heavy class here. Djokovic, 19 years old. We just didn't scout him, which is another problem. I think it's very, very hard to scout position players. Like, you pretty much have to get lucky and find one that's really good, that really moves up the board, and then like zero in on him and maybe a couple of other guys. Because there's just not a lot of these position guys left that we even have ranked that moved up the board at all. Like Ken Jackowicz moved up a little bit. Looked like he could be a solid hitter, good plate vision, but the potential is not going to be very good. He's a 19-year-old guy that probably would take a little while to get there. Boring as it kind of gets, is probably going to be starting pitchers. That's probably what we're going to take. Let's move things along here. We are back on the board. Still have all three of those top guys on the board. I think we're going to take. Giordano, a 21-year-old. Guaranteed to have 83 potential unless our scouts really mess something up here. Got good motivation to sign. 58 to 68 overall. You would guess he would be mid to high 80s potential, high 50s, low 60s. Like, I mean, it's another guy that I do think could, maybe it takes him 3 or 4 years to get there, but another guy that I really think could pitch for us in the future. And it's another right-handed pitcher on a team and organization full of them. And now we draft again here just a little bit. We'll sim through. Jason Farley still available, so we still can take the chance on the high upside potential 18-year-old that will probably take some time to develop. Not that there's necessarily anything wrong with that, because now we're starting to add some pitchers that I think have a very solid chance at being major league ready now. And I think he's a top 20 player on the board for us. We'll take Jason Farley, another pitcher, another right-handed pitcher at that. So we're adding 4 starting pitchers, all of them right-handed. We are adding Terrence Henderson, one of the top closers on the board, right-handed pitcher. And then we have Eddie Matos, who we drafted in the first round. And, yeah, just all a bunch of pitchers and a bunch of starting pitchers, all of them throwing right-handed. And I think now we don't have anybody on the board. Let's just do anybody with, like, high potential. What could we maybe find here? Chris Cutliff, 20 years old, probably going to be a B potential. Reliever, could be solid, decent velocity, good strikeout, home runs potential, home run prevention potential there. This is now our pick 158, so any of these guys would be fine, really and truly, to take. You know what? Let's add a little bullpen depth here. Chris Cutliff. And again, for relievers, they don't have to be super high potential. As long as that's a upper 70s potential, I do not think that is terrible at all. Is another righty for what it's worth. Go ahead and simulate to the next pick. Peterson, a starting pitcher. I think he's going to be very solid now without a lot of potential to move up or improve a whole lot. Just try to get lucky here with a potential player. Maybe go back to relievers. Nobody at all super high. Walter is considered the best. That is a overly large spread. Is there a Perry Hutchinson, lefty reliever, could be very bad. Got good velocity though. Okay, no closing pitchers. Got a couple of catchers left. Again, probably not going to be very good. There are no outfielders that we have left available. Gordon Foster, 19. Oh, it took J.R. Peterson for us. Okay. Forgot that we run out of time there. I should not have maybe simulated quite as much as I did there. But that completes the draft for us. So a lot of pitchers. That's all we took was pitchers. 1 closer, 1 reliever. And all of the – J.R. Peterson is actually a lefty. Probably more of like a long reliever type, I would guess. But yeah, feel pretty good about what we came away with there. And now let's see. So we do not get any don't get any simulation stuff coming in here. But we do end up winning this series 3-1 victory there. Jesse Winker hits a home run on the final game. Not a whole lot of hitting there going on. We do come away eventually with the victory. We're now at the All-Star break. And as we get to the All-Star break, we are 7.5 games up here in the division, 59-38. Second best record in the American League behind just the Royals, who have been just really, really good. Both teams not playing necessarily great. The Twins, Yankees, Rangers, Red Sox right now are definitely the favorites for those wild card spots, with the Orioles leading the East in a very tight division. The East, Phillies, the National East, the Phillies are running away with it. The Braves have been really good, though. Mets are above 500. Nationals, Marlins, okay. Cubs in the Central. Brewers have been solid. Everybody else with a losing record. Dodgers, best record in baseball, 65-31. The Padres right behind them. And the Padres, Braves, Mets, Brewers, Giants seem to be the top teams there when it comes to the wild card. I don't think this yet shows like the all-star players. Yeah, it's just all the votes. Bryce Miller, of course, the guy we decided to give the big extension to early in this season, has been outstanding. I'm hoping that he is the All-Star Game starter in the American League. Is definitely looks like either him or Logan Gilbert. Either one of them might get it. Let's see. Ooh, press the wrong button. Let's see who else maybe gets there. Raleigh looks like he just barely edges out Connor Wong, who has been great this year, having a breakout campaign at age 29. Yeah, Raleigh, excellent first half. Good to see that. Seeing a lot of bounce back from like his power versus lefty that we lost a little bit from him last year. But he has been outstanding. Just kind of taking an eye on guys that I think might have made it. Jesse Winker maybe gets in. Julio looks like he wins the nod there at center field. We'll get to it. Do we have anybody playing in the home run derby? We'll just do a minute just in case we do have somebody. And we do not have any players there. Marcell Ozuna, Bryce Harper, Shohei Ohtani, Max Muncy, Tristan Casas, Giancarlo Stanton, Vladimir Guerrero, and Corey Seager. We'll come in here, we'll simulate and just see who wins it. Some fun names in this, though. Good to see Casas having a big breakout year. Guerrero Jr. has been very good for the Cubs. Marcell Ozuna continues to just mash as the Royals DH. Very cool to see.
Welcome to the Home Run Derby.
45 minutes into this episode. Probably just be a little bit of a longer episode, to be honest with you.
Let's get right to it.
Let's just fast forward to the end. Marcell Ozuna is your home run derby champion.
Home Run Derby
Gets the job
champion.
done there. Very cool. 17, just 5 in the second round, but it was enough to get it done, and 14 in the final round. So he was outstanding in that one. And now we should be able to just take a look at the All-Star rosters. Today is the All-Star break. Of course, we do have guys there. And it still does not show it like that. So let's hop in here and see. Bryce Miller is the All-Star Game starter. So we'll definitely do a little bit of playing around with him. Pitch a little bit. Let's do a little quick counts action. So Bryce Miller actually a little cold here coming off just because he's had 3 bad starts really heading into the All-Star break. Miller's been outstanding in the first half. 12-2. He's already thrown almost 120 innings, and heading into the break. 2.33 ERA. FIP has been really good. I mean, he is at 27 years old. We have him now for a while. He looks great. Shane Bieber makes it. I'll kind of go slow if you guys really want to take a look at the stats. But Joe Ryan, I believe this is his second. The awards, I guess, don't show in this spot right here. I think this is his second straight time, though, making the All-Star game. Tanner Houck makes it. Logan Gilbert does make it in, been even better than he was last year. 28 years old. He's been great. So maybe Hulk is probably the biggest surprise guy here. He's been really good though. Was good in 24. He's been great in this series. So that's pretty cool to see. And then we get to the bullpen. Got Brisky here. Been outstanding. Romano been good. Pete Fairbanks has been just unhittable. .89 ERA. Wow. Duran's been good. Mason Miller having a great bounce back season. Did get traded to Detroit, but having a great bounce back season. Clase been pretty good still. Lucas Ursig has been outstanding. So we got Miller on this side. Okay. Then, sorry. Jonathan India, Gunnar Henderson. So India's been really, really good. Again, he's been very good since he's been in Kansas City. So he's having a great campaign there at 29. Gunnar Henderson's maybe not playing. I was going to say maybe not hitting quite as well as actually his average is down, but his OPS is down. I'm kind of looking at the numbers in a weird way. But still, obviously, having a great season. Aaron Judge continues to mash, but is definitely sliding a little bit here, down almost 100 points in his OPS. Marcelo Zuna's been great. Rafi, mashing, doing very well. Corey Seager having another great year. Julio, of course, makes it in. Always good to see. Oh, that OPS I'd like to see. I'd like to see 2022 OPS numbers. Is what I'd like to see. 16 homers, 16 stolen bases here before the break for him. It's obviously very cool. And then Cal Raleigh already hit more homers than he did all of last year. Should cruise past the RBI total as long as he stays healthy. Big 880 OPS, but one of the best players in all of baseball here. Already worth over a half win more than he was last year. It's been the best season of his career thus far already based in WAR. Christian Walker makes it. Having a great season there. Brett Rios. This was, if I'm not mistaken, he is a rookie, right? Drafted in 2025. He's having a great campaign. I'm going to put a note in my phone, actually. Give me just a second. So I think he's playing well enough. He's going to win Rookie of the Year. I am probably going to move up his potential. He is at least improving, but he has come in at 22 years old and has been really, really good. And I like to reward players with some boosts if they're playing well. He is, bouncing up a little bit, but maybe make him, a lower B potential guy. Total left fielder. Okay. Making an all-star break as a 22-year-old rookie that just got drafted. That's outstanding. Logan O'Hoppe. Catcher, backup, obviously. Catcher could be a little bit of a weaker position. Kirk makes it. Been okay. Jake Berger makes it. He had a big game against us to begin that series with 2 home runs. Has a lot of pop. Obviously, the average is low. Not a great player, really and truly. Lennon Sosa, I guess he is the Chicago White Sox player. Not great. Max Schumann makes it for the Athletics. The third baseman. Okay. Bobby Witt. Definitely has not been quite as good in this series as he was in 2024. It's having another bit of a step-down campaign this year. Seeing some boost, but seeing some drops. Obviously, still a very good player and a great defender on top of that. Jose Ramirez continues to largely do Jose Ramirez things, having a bit of a down year. Jordan continues to hit the ball very well. Jesse Winker makes it. Awesome. Good deal. Really helps. So that'll be his second All-Star game. Jaron Duran having another good season. Okay, so it doesn't show it on the other side. So Logan Gilbert makes his second All-Star team. Bryce Miller has not made one, so this is the first time. Bieber, make it here again. So I'm just kind of looking at, just kind of want to look at our players. So this is now the fourth All-Star game, for Julio. And this is going to be Raleigh's first All-Star game appearance. Now let's come back out here. This may not really be the most efficient way to look at everybody. Zach Wheeler. I really like to make sure I know who is making all-star teams and stuff is always something that before I started doing YouTube, I always kept up with. Zach Wheeler's been very good. Nestor Cortez has been outstanding. He was great last year for Milwaukee. After a couple of, a rough year in 23 and a short season for him, then a less than stellar 2024. I mean, a solid year with the Yankees. He has been great. Glass now, having a phenomenal campaign there at 32 for the Dodgers. Imanaga has been great again. He's outstanding. Aaron Nola, been the best pitcher in baseball this year. A 1.81 ERA, just disgusting. Robert Suarez looking great. Emilio Pagan has been outstanding. Iglesias has been solid. Diaz has been solid. Ryan Walker's been good. Devin Williams having a nice bounce back campaign. Tanner Scott is Tanner Scott. Okay. Christian Yelich. Wow. What a on base batting average season. Great slugging. Not hitting, for a ton of pop. Just 7 home runs after hitting 27 last year. Vlad Jr.'s right in line. Bryce Harper having the second best season of his career. Second best season of his career from an OPS perspective. Already hit 31 home runs. The most he's ever hit in a season was 42. So he should get to that. Yeah, he has been tremendous. Juan Soto, been great again. See the MVP last year? He was. It's probably going to be a tight race between those two. Jackson Merrill, man, he is sensational. He is a great baseball player. Continues to put up numbers there. Max Muncy, another big power year for him. Almost 600 slugging. Luis Campuzano, been very good this year. 14 homers, 895 OPS. He's raised his OPS over 300. Outstanding. Willie Adames, Gleyber Torres. Okay. Pittsburgh. Shohei. 403 ERA. He's not been good on the mound. Not been great, I'll say that, on the mound in this series. But he is absolutely destroying the baseball this year. Tyler Stevenson, rock solid. Elias Diaz. Nathaniel Lowe. Ketel Marte's been very solid. Nolan Arenado. Third baseman. I would love to have another third baseman, but I'm not paying $32 million for him. It would have to be a very low-end piece that I would give to him, but solid third baseman. Tovar makes it. He is not having a good year, though, at the plate, but obviously he's an outstanding defender. Mookie Betts, good to see him back healthy after missing last year with a torn MCL, I want to say it was. Something like that, but he is really having a great campaign this year, bouncing back. Acuna had a down 2025, has really bounced back nicely this year. Tatis has been tremendous. Corbin Carroll's been really good. And we're back to the top. So, let's, I tell you what we'll do. We'll throw an inning here with Bryce Miller. Take a couple of swings at the plate with our guys, and then we'll do a little bit of simulating post-All-Star break, see if we get any of these draft picks signed. As this All-Star game is actually in Atlanta. I always like doing just a little bit of the All-Star game. Ain't got to be anything crazy. Zach Wheeler at the plate. Let's do a little quick finish here.
Ball four, take the base.
Basically just want to take swings with our guys and then okay. So we get Julio and Cal Raleigh back to back in the top. Takes a little bit here with Bryce Miller, maybe get an inning. First pitch we show with him, Julio. Gets it out there to center field. 1-1 count here versus Vlad Jr. Yeah, great response from Bryce Miller this year. I really wanted to, as you guys know if you watched the episode when I did it, I really wanted to find one of these pitchers to give the extension to. And Miller, to me, was the right choice of, or right mixture of upside plus demand because of how far out he was. So obviously, we're going to be paying him more starting next year than we would have otherwise, a little bit anyway. Based on arbitration, like you're probably paying him more, but now you're getting him through his age 32 season. He should be a really, really good pitcher for us. And he has
3-2.
really showed up with a great first year here after signing that extension. Bryce Harper. Yeah, been very impressed with Miller. Come on. Bryce's all-star game. Let's not do a whole bunch of swings and misses or fouling off and
That's ball
whatnot.
4. Take your base.
He is going to walk Bryce Harper, try to get him to chase. Harper doesn't look like he's chasing much of anything so far this year, though. Juan Soto. Fouls that one away. Miller's got a nice pitch mix, too, that I feel like is something that I can work with for the long term, even if some of his ratings maybe end up going down to an extent. But he's still got some potential to grow. And I think he's going to be a lower 90, or maybe right at 90 overall pitcher. And he's obviously pitching extremely well now without quite being that highly rated. Gets the strikeout of Soto. Gets through the first inning with just a walk. Julio is now at the plate. It's going to be a 2-1 count here versus Zach Wheeler.
That's out.
Make it a 3-1. See if Wheeler gives Julio something to drive here. Yeah, we'll just throw the one inning quickly with Miller getting at bat here with these two guys, Julio and Raleigh. That one is going to get fouled away. 3-2 count. And we get at least a base hit, Julio. That one is going to, in fact, be a base hit for Julio. He's able to get that one up the middle past a dive-in Willie Adames. Now it is Raleigh with a 1-1 count. We're going to send Julio to see if he can get a stolen base in the All-Star game.
Runner!
He is off.
Outside, that's a ball.
Pitch is out. Julio gets the stolen base, and it's now a 2-1 count for Cal Raleigh. Been very, very impressed with Raleigh. We're kind of at an awkward situation where Raleigh is a guy I think has got 2 more years with team control. The ball is driven. That'll be a base hit. Seeing Julio and knock him in. But Raleigh got 2 years of team control. I don't really know that, other than giving him the extension because you want to give him the extension, I don't necessarily think that it's almost like worth doing it because you're not going to be saving any money in the short term other than just guaranteeing you have him a little bit farther along the line. Let's get more at-bats here. Let's see her get another at-bat. Bryce Miller's going to keep throwing him. I guess I'm going to have to take him out myself. We will swing with Julio here. That's it. Okay, so both those guys, Julio and Raleigh, each go 2 for 2 in the All-Star game. We got a 3-run homer there from Henderson. I just want to get one at-bat with Winker. I just want him at that DH spot.
Take your base.
I need to take
That's ball 4.
put in Winker for the DH spot, and we'll hit with him, and then we'll hop on out of here. One count here against Aaron Nolos. We get to see both of the star pitchers for the Phillies. Winker makes his second All-Star game. Very cool. Very cool. Got one to drive there. That one might be out of here, and it is. Jesse Winker finds the seats. Drives that one. Good to see Winker make the All-Star game. We'll take another swing here with Julio.
Aye.
Ooh.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
2 for 2. Don't really want to mess him up here. 1-2 count, though. He's 2 for 2. I think I said 2-2. Oh, that'll be a fly out. Oh, actually, able to get that one to dunk in there. So Julio with a 3-hit All-Star game performance. Cal Raleigh. First All-Star game. Gonna hit a big fly. Wow, Raleigh just massacred that baseball. Wow, big time swing there. That's the. I don't think I've ever hit a no doubt home run with him.
For the National League.
It's certainly not what he's made kind of that motion here. Let's go ahead and simulate it to the end though. Let's give it. His AL ends up really winning this game with ease. So great performances from Julio, Winker, Raleigh. I think because of the way that I was doing, I ended up leaving Miller in a little too long. So that's fine. Logan Gilbert was good in his little bit of action. So overall, our guys performed very well. We'll just see who's maybe in the futures game, and then we'll probably just hop on out of here after that. There's the futures. Gary Valencia is the starter. Now I want to play a little bit with him. I think we may have to. At least throw an inning or something with him. Right? What we should do. Gary Valencia on the mound here. See if we have anybody else in there. I guess Montalvo was one of the other pitchers that we were looking at in that first round last year. Getting a meetup between these two guys. Very interesting to see. Again, we have headcanoned that Gary Valencia is an LSU product. Oh, did I do something wrong? I did. Here, let's do this. I guess now I can kind of take a look at the team like this. So John Simon, one of our players, has made it in. 309 on base percentage, hit 13 home runs, 8 stolen bases. Caglione, it's always cool to see that. Hadn't really played a whole lot this year. Must have just got moved up to AAA maybe. Colt Emerson is here. He's just in single A. He was not really playing all that well. So he's just a 284 on base percentage. So Ramirez does not make it. Fabregas was a very highly, actually ended up being a second rounder last year. I forgot about that. Really a guy that we could have drafted. Very good from that same draft class. Tashner, first rounder of that same draft class, makes it at catcher. Okay, Ramirez does not make it. I'm a little surprised with that. Okay, what about our bullpen? Anybody else for us? Nope, it's the only one we got. Okay, so we'll just do a little bit of as Campos there hits a home run. Fabregas flies out. We'll get a chance here to see John Simon, who makes the futures game here. Hitting off of Montalvo, who's already gave up a home run. Simon, obviously a very big power threat. Long term, looks like a DH for us. I don't think that he's going to be a guy that's going to be able to play much defense. It's not going to be what I want him to do. 2-2 count here. Could really have good power for us. 13 home runs in the first half, or heading into the break here. 221 average. Probably something you're going to have to deal with, but you see good exit velocity there. That ball does get drove out to center. But I think he's got a lot of upside. Gary Valencia. To me, he's one of the better pitching prospects in all of baseball. 2.74 ERA. I mean, he looks like a guy. He really does. Again, we are just using him as an LSU product. It's kind of the joke that we're going with here. It's the idea. Got a palm ball. Not really pitched enough with him. Got some cool cleats too. It's a strikeout there. Bobby Lunam. Let's see, Ricky Stevens. If I'm not mistaken, this was. I think Ricky Stevens is the San Diego Padres first rounder from last year. That's him. He is 18 years old. Look at the attributes he already has. Really high potential as well. It's like upper 90s potential. 61 overall. He should be a monster. Prince Morehouse is a guy that we really liked. Good potential guy. Ends up making it. Just hitting 164 for what it's worth. Tomas Felice. Another guy that we did have some interest in there. Just kind of making sure there ain't nobody that else is standing out other than Montalvo. Rick Stevens. Falling behind a little bit here. Okay, I mean, he's putting up a decent season there at the bottom. 679, I think it was, OPS at 18 years old at AA. Very rock solid. Let's see if Valencia can get him out here.
That's a ball.
Did not get him to chase. Valencia, that one. Stevens drives into the gap. Fabregas, good defender, cannot run that one down. So Valencia is going to give up a double. Oh, he's going 3. Carson Williams is going to throw him out at third base, though. Stevens trying to show off a little excitement here in the Futures game. Don't mind that. Fabregas with a good throw from out there, though. And Hell Escobedo. Would it be Angel? Angel Escobedo. We'll go with that. Valencia.
That's a ball.
The only
3 balls,
thing that I'm
1
really
strike.
unhappy about when it comes to Valencia is he's not a super high velocity pitcher. Just always looks a little bit
3 and
cooler
2.
when you have a guy that I think he's an upper echelon, like a number 1, number 2 in a rotation type of player. Throws about 94 is about all he's got for you there, though.
And leading up for the American League.
I just want to swing one time with Cagliano. I like his batting stance. I almost gave it to Ramirez, and I ended up going with Carlos Gonzalez. Former really fun, smooth swinging outfielder there as we do strike out. Let's go ahead and let's just hop on out of here. I guess we'll end up seeing how Valencia does, and then see if looks like we had a lot of good pitching there. Yep. Colt Emerson does get in, goes 1 for 3. Valencia throws 2 innings. Oh, I guess I should do Simon did not get a hit. 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts. Okay. So yeah, we'll at least get through this this Guardian series, and then we might hop out of here after that. It should give us a chance to try to sign some of these guys here. We'll start off bottom of the 8th here against the Guardians. We're down 2 runs. Bottom of the 8th. We'll go ahead and sim it. The Guardians do end up winning. Looks like we come back. We lose 4-2 there. Today is the day to sign draft picks. Let's take a look. We'll see who took the mound. So Rayleigh knocks in both of the RBIs. Luis Castillo had a nice bounce back start. He's been a little rough here as of late. Bullpen outside of Brash was pretty good with those couple of guys. He just had 11 hits, just could not string anything together in particular. Julio and Raleigh and Rengifo each with a couple of hits. Okay. Draft picks. I think I may just kind of do this to go through the rosters next time. I think that's just a clean look at going through the All-Stars. Eddie Matos. Let's see if we can bring him on in and get him signed. We'll just submit that. He declined it. Okay. And hard to get for no reason. Jim Flowers. Raise it up just a little bit. So we end up getting our 2nd rounder. Jason Farley here. Get him to sign with us. Giordano ends up signing with us. It looks like Matos may end up being the only guy that we don't get the first time. Okay, so I cannot sign Henderson. So let's move him up here because we can get Matos. I just want to get Henderson signed a little bit quicker. Peterson wants to come. We're able to get him. And then here at the M, Chris Cutliff. There's very little motivation to sign, so we'll let that roll. Get another opportunity here. Look at Luke Raley, 4 for 4, a home run, 3 RBIs, hit 2 doubles. Guardians just scored 5 there in the bottom of the 8th. We end up losing that one 11-9, so we're going to lose this series coming out. I should have gone in and not player locked and just see if we could get the victory there. Bunch of hits from a bunch of different guys. Raley does go 5 for 5, 3 RBIs. Obviously, the home run hits 2 doubles. Winker with a couple of hits. Julio with 1. Raleigh walks twice. He scored. It certainly was not the offense's fault. Brian Wu was really good. Trent Thornton got shelled. He's been fine all year, though. Brash, another bad game for him. I think that's back-to-back. Am I confusing him with somebody else here? Yeah, Brash. Not great outings here to start the post-All-Star break run for him. Ruins what was a very solid game for Wu. I mean, Thornton didn't even get an out, though, for what it's worth. And now it's bottom 5. Let's just simulate through here. End up losing. We get swept by Cleveland. Nick Dunn out for a little bit. So we get swept by the Guardians. So, I mean, a 15-hit day, 4 hits from Winker. He's back over 300. Julio, Raleigh, Arozarena, and Crawford each with 2. Julio gets a pair of RBIs. It's a great start for Winker. Miller. Santos was not good. The bullpen struggling here to start off the second half. Santos has not been great really the whole year. But, it doesn't take much for a bad one. Yeah, Rogers has been outstanding. Just having a tough time. Brash gives up another run. So Brash is definitely struggling here just a little bit. See if we can sign our draft picks. We can't do anything with Henderson or Cutcliffe. Let's see if we can get Matos here, though, to sign. We'll raise that up a little bit. So Eddie Matos, we do sign our first rounder. So we have 2 relief pitchers. Henderson, definitely a guy that I want. And then Chris Cutcliffe, another guy there. So we can just leave them there. Let them hopefully come about. But, yeah, I think that's going to be the end of this episode for us. If you enjoy the content, like and subscribe. Good to be back playing MLB The Show. It's been a while since I've done so, obviously. Good to see our guys perform really well in the All-Star game. I think that we had a very good draft class. I feel comfortable at least getting a couple of guys that are going to be very, very solid in that. And, yeah, so if you enjoy the content, like, subscribe, check out my Tulane Green Wave Dynasty on College Football 25 that we're getting ready to wrap up as we get ready for College Football 26, and then my Atlanta Hawks franchise on NBA 2K25. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, peace.